Hello, everybody. Welcome to Talk About House. I'm Todd.
I'm Juana.
We are going to do an update to Las Vegas real estate market. But first, we had a very special tour of a very special house, private tour of the underground bunker, also known as the underground mansion. One of your agents has it listed for sale. You're the broker for it. Tell what's magical and special about this house.
Okay, so Holly Erker, big shout out, has the property listed for Is Luxury. And the underground bunker house is very famous. It's here in Las Vegas. It's on Spencer Street. It is a full house underground. It's about 23 feet underground. When you go down these steps, you end up in this yard and in this house. It has a roof on it, all the walls. It has 3 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms. There's a casita. It has a swimming pool, a hot tub, a cold plunge, a barbecue. This amazing house. It has a mural that's amazing. It was built between 1974 and 1978, I believe. It's a really cool house. It was built by Jerry Henderson. He was a really interesting guy. He's worth Googling, absolutely. And it was a great experience. Right now they do venue rentals there, so they'll do parties there, that sort of thing. And the house is for sale. So if you want a piece of Las Vegas history, this is your opportunity. And, we'll put Holly's information down below and you can contact Holly directly.
Perfect. Okay. Now we're going to jump into all the data, real-time market profile today. Market action on the bottom 33, it's been kind of hanging out there. The difference, although if you go back 3 months ago, that's basically 34. So it looks like it's dropped a lot, but it's the scale of that line. Basically, the market hasn't changed in the last 3 months. It's been kind of normal to slow to normal. But what's really interesting is inventory. Juana, Friday, June 27th, which was 2 full months ago, right? Yeah, 2 months ago.
Yeah.
We had 4,439 listings in the MLS day with 4,538, so about 100 more. That's not much. Normally this time of year we see that increasing. What's going on? Why is, like, if you're Florida, parts of Florida and Texas have like inventory increasing, other parts of the South, why don't we have that here? What's going on?
So real estate is hyper-local, right?
Yeah.
So we start there. So what's going on in the next community is not necessarily going on in your community. So in Las Vegas, we don't have a big jump in inventory. We have pretty much flat inventory or decreasing inventory depending on your price point. And buyers are buying, sellers don't have to sell. So if their home isn't selling, then they'll take it off the market. So if you find that perfect house in Las Vegas and you're like, well, I don't know, I'll wait. Well, you can wait. Either somebody else will buy it or the property may go off the market and they may no longer be interested in selling it. They'll rent it. They'll do something else with it.
Here's price per square foot. The little wavy line, this is the spring to fall tends to, goes up in the spring, down the fall, goes up in the spring, down the fall. So like a sine wave, but it kind of tends to slant upwards. You can see, even though we're in a decline here, we're still more than we were last year for the same day. It probably keep dropping until October, a couple months, and then who knows, back to the races maybe. But that's sort of what's going on. Nothing dramatic is happening, despite what you may have heard, at least not in Las Vegas. We're not seeing it. All the economic stuff people are talking about, like, oh, the tourists are not coming and whatever. Well, it's not showing in the real estate market because I don't think tourists are showing up buying the houses. It's people that move here.
Well, yeah. So the tourists that do show up and buy houses, these are second homes, and that's a whole different, it's a whole different demographic as far as those home purchasers, and they're not buying in such numbers as to significantly impact our market.
Here's the inventory chart. You can see that we've sort of peaked here. This is just a trend line. This is a weekly line, and we're still a lot less than we were in 2022, and it's already starting to level off here. So, but this is a reasonable amount of inventory. We have 400,000 houses in Vegas, and we have like less than 5,000, 4,500 or so on the market, which is not a super high number, 1%. That's a super low number. Mm-hmm. Anyway, the other thing interesting on here, down at the bottom, these market segments, the four segments of the market. So the top market is the top, the bottom quarter. Where it says new, you see 47 new, 74 absorbed, 83 new, 94 absorbed. All those absorbed numbers are bigger than new. So there is some sales velocity happening. It's just not a super fast rate. I mean, this is really, we've been used to this houses like, well, when you and I were listing houses like 2021, 22, we would put it in the MLS and like 10 minutes later at 10 o'clock at night, an agent would call and say, do you have any offers yet? Remember that? This isn't happening though right now, right?
No, well, yes and no. So when a property comes on the market, it's a desirable property, it's priced appropriately, then we will get phone calls pretty fast saying, hey, what's going on with the property? Do you guys have any offers? Can we come see it? So we do get those calls. When we have aspirational pricing, which the sellers are still kind of in this mode of wanting to set records and saying, well, but my neighbor sold for this, never mind that there are 22 other homes for sale in the community and they're priced maybe a little more flexibly than I want to be priced. So sellers are suffering from that. So there is that where homes will sit on the market for 30, 60 days and not get a single phone call or showing. And those are homes that are just not priced at market value, or they're homes that just are not attractive to buyers looking at that price point in that area.
Here's the median days on the market. This is an interesting one because we are the highest we've been in the last 5 years. For the state, this is a weird one because this tends to peak in January. But remember, this is looking backwards because this is recorded when the houses close. So what they do is they say, hey, how long were you on the market before you went under contract, and then they don't record till you close. So this lags by like a month or two. So that's why this peaks in January. But we just thought this was interesting, because he's very granular. It's like exactly averaged out. I mean, it's not averaged out. It's just exactly what happened that week. And you can see this trend. If you smoothed it out, it looks like a pretty normal thing. Condos. So this chart is condos. You can see it says a slight buyer's advantage. The other thing that was interesting about this was also the inventory. There were 2,494 condos on the market June 20th of 2025. There's 2,494 today, same exact number. It hasn't gone up. It's the inventory is the same. Maybe condos is a different market, right?
It is. So every property type is different. One of the things to keep in mind is, for example, new homes. So new homes across the country, this is the smallest spread there's been between new home price and resale price. It's less than 8% right now, which is relatively low. Usually the spread is greater than that. And part of the reason for that is that new home builders are having to move inventory, and they have a lot of tools at their disposal, such as rate buy downs, because maybe they own the mortgage company, and they're giving other incentives, like maybe giving people upgrades and things like that. So they've got a lot of tools at their disposal to make their homes attractive. So when you're looking at a new home, it might be more attractive today than it's been in the past.
I'm going to put these rates up. This was the latest rates that we got from one of the lenders we work with. Interest rates have dropped. Interest rates have dropped. So here, let's go through some of these. Conforming, now this is not you. Okay, this is basically, a pretty decent credit. This is not the Fannie or Freddie average, okay? This is what this specific mortgage broker is doing in Nevada here. They're called Pacific Home Loans. Conforming 30-year fixed, 6%. That sounds like a pretty good deal. A jumbo 30-year fix, so like if you bought a $2 million house, 6.125. FHA, 5.49%. That is unheard of. VA, 5.375. If you do a VA 15-year fix, it's under 5%. It's like 4.875 or something. That is pretty crazy.
So the reason that rates have come down is in anticipation of one or two rate cuts between now and the end of the year. So the reason I say that is because when the rate cuts do materialize, you will not see these rates go down further. This is already baked into these numbers. So that's an important distinction. So if you're waiting for the Fed to lower rates so these rates will go down, that's not going to happen. This is kind of the way it is. If anything, rates may actually go a little bit higher once the Fed lowers rates, because then there's probably an anticipation that maybe there won't be another rate cut that soon. So maybe rates might actually go up a little bit rather than down.
Yeah, the latest consensus was like 88% chance of a rate cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's like a 75% chance of 2 rate cuts this year for the
Right.
rest of the year. Anyway, so we had a fun day. The underground house, I mean, the whole thing is underground. So when you're in there and you walk and you're outside, you look up, it's concrete above you, but it's all like it's open in a way.
Right. So one of the coolest features that I thought is the mural on the walls that shows you this, panorama of New Zealand, New England, and Colorado, and Los Angeles
Hollywood Hills.
Right. So that was really cool. But one of the coolest things about it is that as they dim the lights and they make it nighttime, what you see are the constellations in those parts of the world, which I thought was such a cool detail. So if you have the opportunity to attend an event at the Underground Bunker House in Las Vegas, you absolutely should. I believe that they give tours and they have a website, so go check it out. If you are interested in owning this piece of Las Vegas, reach out to Holly Erker and she'll make arrangements for you to see the house, and maybe this will be your piece of Las Vegas.
If you have $8.5 million, you no longer need. Or it's negotiable, but I think that's kind of roughly where the list price is.
Right.
So, yeah.
Well, it's real estate, everything's negotiable.
Yep. All right.
All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
Bye.